What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're back here on NBA 2K25, continuing with these realistic rebuilds, as today we have the San Antonio Spurs. The Spurs find themselves at 9-8 on the season thus far, of course, as the 10th seed in the West currently. Still very early on in the season, but it looks like this team could very well be a play-in / playoff team this year with Chris Paul and Wembanyama. Let's go ahead and jump in. Do a San Antonio Spurs realistic rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like in this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. When we take a look at the Spurs roster to see what we're working with, obviously you have Victor Wembanyama. Now Chris Paul always retires after this season in 2K, I've noticed, so we're only going to have him for here and then he'll be gone after that. Would not surprise me if Chris Paul called it a career after this season, or if he played again. We'll see what he does. Devin Vassell, who just returned from an injury a couple weeks ago, or like a week ago, it feels like. Harrison Barnes, Zach Collins, Keldon Johnson, Malachi Branham, Jeremy Sohan's been out. Trey Jones, Stephon Castle, of course, is the rook. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rotation. So you have Chris Paul, Vassell, Keldon, Sandro, Victor Wembanyama, Barnes, Trey Jones, Zach Collins, Malachi Branham, and Stephon Castle. That looks good to me. I know Champagnie has been getting some run as well. But of course, once Jeremy Sohan is healthy, this rotation is going to change anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of year number 1, and we're going to see how this team finishes out. I don't think there will be a stop at the deadline. I kind of just want to see how this team does, and then in the offseason, whether we're drafting or making some type of move through free agency or trades, that's where I want to evaluate this roster. Today's video is brought to you by Daily Grind Fantasy's Optimizer. If you plan apps such as Prize Picks, Underdog, or any of these popular DFS apps, having a tool like Daily Grind Fantasy is very clutch to have to finding good plays and profitable plays on any of those DFS apps you play on. So as you can tell on the board at the moment, there's actually a few Spurs, funny enough. You got Chris Paul over 20.5 PRA. As you can see, there are some books listing it at 22.5 instead, which is why there's clear value on Prize Picks at Chris Paul at 22.5. Or sorry, at 21.5 compared to getting him at 22.5. So same with Stephon Castle under 18.5 points plus assists. You have most books listing this at 17.5, which is why we love this. You can do the same thing below Coulibaly. Once there's discrepancy, take advantage of that discrepancy. It's just like if you were buying a car, you're going to go buy it at the cheapest place possible. Same principle when it comes to sports betting. So make sure to check out Daily Grind Fantasy. Links down in the description below. Use code Crushables for a percentage off first month. Other than that, let's get back to the Spurs. At the end of year 1, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Jared McCain's Rookie of the Year. Amin Thompson, 6th man. Wembanyama, Defensive Player. No surprise there. Cade's Most Improved. And Shay's your Clutch Player. And Kid's your Coach of the Year. And Jordan Hobson is your Executive. So, assuming we get Wembanyama on one of these, which we do all NBA second team. And it's actually really cool. We also have him making all defensive first team as well. But really cool thing, Stephon Castle, Rookie. We actually made the playoffs. So, I'm pretty sure the last time we did the Spurs rebuild, we missed out completely and we drafted. So, this will be a kind of a different approach compared to that one, which makes for a fun video. So instead of having a high draft pick from our own selection here, we'll be in the playoff run, and I guess we'll see kind of what happens once we get to that. So let's go ahead and get into, I guess, a 9-man rotation for the playoffs. That way we, give Wembanyama some playoff experience, and maybe, who knows, maybe we can win a series or two. So that's gonna bench Stephon Castle, which kind of sucks, but I'm not opposed to in the playoffs. It is what it is. I mean, he's gonna play a big role next year. So we do draw Minnesota. I think regardless, we're going to probably lose to them. I don't think we're going to get out of round 1 here, but you never know. We're in a game 7 with Minnesota, so here goes nothing. Maybe I shouldn't doubt this team too much, but in game 7, it looks like they're going to run away with it pretty easily. So we didn't even show up for game 7. Yeah, unfortunate. So it was cool that we made it, forced it to a game 7, but unfortunately, we did not show up for it. I got Minnesota, Denver, and then Knicks, Nuggets, and the Knicks going to win the championship. So we got LeBron James and Chris Paul both retiring, which I kind of figured would be the case. Now we can head to the lottery, and we are going to have, I don't think we have a pick from anybody, of course. I know there's like projection on the Charlotte pick, but that pick is protected, and it stays at number 3 for them. We have Chicago's pick at 17, which is definitely a pick we get to keep, 23 and 24 as well. So we have 3 first-round picks in this draft, so we can maybe do a trade-up scenario. So like Memphis has 2, Hornets 3, Hawks via the Lakers, and then there's like Orlando. So Orlando's a team that's looking to compete, so maybe trading up to number 9, and if we gave them something, which I'm not sure we have anything of value to them, but we'll see. So we got Greg Popovich still as the head coach, which is fine by me. The one thing I will do is give him more years on contract. That way he continues to coach this team. And let's head to draft night. So on draft night, like I said, 3 first-round picks in this draft. 17, 23, 24, then 2 picks in the second round. So if I wanted to make a move up scenario, there anything like Keldon Johnson's definitely somebody I think that some teams would be interested in. So he'll probably be a piece we can move up to try to trade up. So as far as who would want Keldon Johnson in a trade-up scenario is the question. I don't think Orlando makes a ton of sense for him. Oklahoma City, no. Houston, no. Detroit, maybe. Detroit could maybe be interested in like Keldon, or Brooklyn at 12 or 13, 14. I could see Brooklyn maybe taking a chance on Keldon Johnson. Why not, right? Memphis 2, Hornets 3. Hornets is interesting too. Blazers, Jazz. Maybe the Jazz would be interested. I don't know. I think we're gonna do a trade up scenario with the Brooklyn Nets to get to 13. At least swap 2 of our first or just 1 of our first, just to move up in the draft just a tad bit to get ourselves a little bit of a better player. So 17 and Keldon Johnson to the Brooklyn Nets, and let's see if we can do something like that. So obviously we're not getting number 1, but let's say we did 13. So 17 and Keldon Johnson for 13. Can I get away with getting 13 and 14 back to back, and then I get 23, or I give them 23 and 24 maybe do something like this? I could maybe see this happening. So 17, 23, 24 for Keldon Johnson for 13 and 14 from Brooklyn. So Brooklyn's going to trade down and get 3 first-round picks, and they get Keldon Johnson. Let's do it. They agree. So we're going to get back-to-back lottery picks at the very end. So we'll see what we can do with those selections. So let's get straight into the draft. So number 1 is going to be Cooper Flagg, of course. Number 2 is going to be Ace Bailey to the Memphis Grizzlies. Via Edgecombe to the Hornets. Blazers take another guard, just what they need. We got, I don't know how to say that name, but I know this guy's been pretty solid for Illinois. We got Liam McNeely to Washington. The center goes. Another Duke guy goes. Trey Johnson goes for the Magic. Hugo, I would have loved that pick. Igor, and then Asa. Okay, so we still have Nolan Traore on the board. We have Drake Powell. So I think, to me, Nolan Traore is kind of an obvious selection. I think we take Colin Murray, Boyles, and Nolan Traore. I don't know much about everyone else, so I'm going to take Nolan here to start things off. Familiarity from with France with Wembanyama, so I like that. So I'm feeling good about that. So I feel pretty good about how we start this offseason. So we get a 76 overall Nolan and then a 74 overall Colin Murray Boyles. I like it. We can rock with that. And I have gotten Nolan Traore in a couple videos already, but I mean, to me, getting him at 13 is a no-brainer, especially the France connection with Wemby. It's a no-brainer, man. We got to do it. So we're going to accept all these options. Qualifying offers, Harrison Ingram. We can go ahead and, extend the offer, and I'm sure why not. And then free agency. So for free agency, Trey Jones is a free agent, Sandro's a free agent, and Charles is a free agent. So taking a look at the rotation, Nolan Traore and Blake Wesley is our point guard rotation right now. Devin Vassell, Malachi Branham, Stephon Castle. I know Stephon Castle is going, originally got drafted to want to play point guard. That was kind of the whole storyline heading into the draft. So I do want to move him back to point guard, I think. That way Vassell still starting at 2 guard. And then Nolan and Stephon Castle can kind of share that point guard spot. Harrison Barnes is our starting small forward right now. Obviously, that's going to change. We can always slide Vassell down there too. And then we just drafted Colin Murray Boyles, who we could give some run to immediately. Dawn's our 4, and then Wembanyama and Zach Collins is our 5, of course. All right, so pretty much have that figured out. So like I said, we're going to move Stephon Castle to point guard. He stays the same overall, which is good. I really wanted that to be the case. So Stephon Castle, Nolan, Vassell, Malachi Branham. It's Barnes for now, but I think we're going to probably start Colin out of the gates potentially. So I want to be that 4, and then Wembanyama and Zach Collins. So the only thing I want to do in free agency is I want to re-sign Sandro, but I do have to acknowledge that, Wemby is a great player, and there's no point of wasting any time. He kind of gives us the ceiling of going on to win it all immediately if we really wanted to go that direction. So, and not that ESPN is gospel or anything, but if you guys remember that in his rookie season, they were talking about how long is Wemby going to wait? Like, he's a rookie. Calm down. So we could try to do something aggressive to start this video. It wouldn't shock me in the slightest if the Spurs try to be aggressive, but it has to make sense, right? We can't just do anything stupid. Can't set ourselves back. So as far as like who would make sense for us to trade for, that I'm not 100% sure about, but maybe at the deadline we can kind of evaluate there. So I think we just resign Sandro, and at the deadline we reevaluate. I don't think I'm bringing back Trey Jones because I kind of like my point guard rotation as is right now. Trey Jones, unfortunately, I'm going to have to let you go, but I will resign Sandro, and I'll renounce everybody else. So Sandro will be resigned, and then Trey Jones will be gone. We do have the money to spend on anybody in free agency if we wanted to go that direction. Like Jim, we don't have money for Jimmy, but I don't want to spend money on Jimmy anyway. Brogdon, I know Ty Jerome's been amazing for Cleveland, but I'm not spending my money on him. We're just going to go to player progression, and we're going to rock with whatever player progression gives us. So we do have Wembanyama up to a 95, Vassell up, and then Stephon Castle's up to an 80. You have Harrison Barnes going down, of course, no surprise there. Blake Wesley also developing down low. So a lot to like here, but as I mentioned, we're probably going to evaluate the deadline. That way we're not wasting any time. We have Wembanyama. Next year will be the last year of his rookie contract, I believe. So if we do have the cap space, which we should, because, I mean, we could maybe just wait till the offseason, because this free agency class wasn't great and we didn't have enough cap space. But I'm pretty sure if we play our cards right, which I'll have to look at that, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of cap space open up because obviously Barnes' contract is gonna come off the books. Now Sohan would have to be resigned, I'm pretty sure, so that might be a problem. But if we let him go, we could go for somebody else free agency. If we take a look, so let's take a look at the financial breakdown just to kind of see. So yeah, we have $24 million in cap space right now. The Barnes contract will be completely off the books. Obviously next year it'll be paying Vassell. We're gonna accept Wemby's. We're gonna accept Stephon Castle, Nolan, and then Champagny, and we can decide whether, or not to and then basically you have Barnes as a free agent, which we're not bringing back. You'll have Zach Collins as a free agent, which we could choose to bring him back, but we don't need to. And then Sohan, Branham. So there is some free agents we could re-sign. So we'll take a look at the deadline, of course, like I mentioned. So it'll be Stephon Castle, Vassell, Barnes, Sohan, Wemby, Branham, Zach Collins, Nolan Troyer, Julian Champagny, and we'll run a 10-man rotation. We'll go back to a 10-man rotation. That'll put Colin Morrill, that'll put Blake Wesley in. But honestly, to me, as much as I like Harrison Barnes, I'm just going to throw our rook in there. I mean, there's really no need to be committed to Barnes for the rest of the season. We're going to trade him eventually anyway. His trade value isn't going to go up like crazy regardless. So I'm cool with just simulating season 2. And if I do decide to make any kind of trade at the deadline after I evaluate what's there, I'll show you. If not, I'll see you in the offseason and we'll attack through free agency. So we are starting the trade deadline as we're 34-15 on the season, and I can't help but think we should maybe go for this season. So if we take a look at the player stats to kind of see how things are going, Wemby is the one leading the way, and everyone else is just kind of helping out in a way. There's nothing like too crazy to be excited about here. So I kind of have an idea of what I want to go for here. We'll see if we're able to execute it. But 34-15 on the season, there's only one player in my mind that I want to go after here. And he is in a Charlotte Hornets uniform. Now, right now, the Hornets with LaMelo Ball. I'm talking about LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball is having a great season thus far for the Hornets. Obviously has his injury history. Trae Young also is available to us, rebuilding. They're 26-25. Yeah, we could go get Trae Young, but, the Spurs could have done that, I think, and they just haven't. And this doesn't sound like they were very interested in it. But LaMelo Ball, on the other hand, 24 years old. Imagine pairing him and Wemby together. That's kind of where I'm at. I could continue to take the patient approach and just roll with Stephon Castle, Nolan Troyer, and that might work out. But to change things up a little bit, in theory, if the Hornets miss the playoffs this season and they are on the cusp of missing it the next season, LaMelo Ball is a very mature person. Didn't really always, wasn't always like that. But would there be a chance he would request out of Charlotte? Maybe not. But in this scenario, if he's tired of it, and they're rebuilding, he's available, they don't have him as untouchable, they're going to try to make it happen. So I'm going to see if the LaMelo Ball and the Hornets will play ball. And by that, I mean we get LaMelo Ball to pair him with Wemby in his Spurs uniform. Let's see if we can pull this off. I don't know if we'll be able to, but we're going to try. So the first option is we are going to throw Nolan Troyer in here. I've had him in so many videos. I don't need to have him for another one. So he'll be the starter of this trade. So Nolan Troyer will be the starter of this trade. Gives the Hornets a new point guard to reset with as well. We can throw Sohan in here. We can throw a bunch of options in here to be honest. Like Sohan, if he needs to go in here, I'll throw him in here. We can throw, what else we got? Blake Wesley, Julian Champagny. Castle, I'm going to try to keep out of the trade, but, maybe we have to throw him in here. So what do we got? So this trade's illegal for the Hornets, but looks like the money is legal. So Barnes' salary was going to be in there to, well, let's see. Because I guess we have cap space to obviously match anything. So Mark Mitchell. So, we need 20 Spurs would acquire. Yeah, so we have to send out more money. So Barnes, this is where you come in, obviously. And then we could get Dink, who's down to a 70 overall. Wow, I didn't realize he was... I don't know if he's like struggling in college or whatever, but KJ Simpson will be the guy we go after instead. So Nolan and Sohan and Barnes And then we can give them their pick back, which I think makes sense for them. And we can give them a Hawks pick and then our own unprotected pick. And this is for LaMelo. So this is a massive haul. I mean, yeah, we'll see if they decide to do this. And just like that, we get LaMelo Ball on a Spurs uniform. So LaMelo Ball has been acquired, which we absolutely love. So now that gives us a new rotation: LaMelo, Spawn Castle, Vassell Branham. We still have Colin Murray, Bowles, Julian Champagny. And then I guess we got rid of our power forward position completely by trading Sohan away. But what that does, in my opinion, it kind of opens up cap space for free agency. I know we're going to be paying LaMelo, but I think we'll have enough money. We won't have to resign Sohan. We might have enough money to do whatever else we want. Or do whatever else. So we're going to put Colin Moore, Paulin back in. They want to start Champagny. I'm fine with starting Sandro for the rest of the season. We'll obviously address the forward spot in free agency. But I'm going to start Colin Murray Boyles for the rest of the season. But yeah, with LaMelo coming over, obviously Wemby will be on the last of his rookie contract. We won't have to pay Sohan. So hopefully we could pay a different forward, whether it's a small forward or power forward. So LaMelo and Wemby is a new duo. Let's see how that finishes out with them being the new duo here in San Antonio. So Luka Doncic wins MVP. Cooper Flagg is your Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey's your sixth man. Wemby is defensive player. And Bones Highland most improved. And Cade is your clutch player of the year. So we find ourselves in the playoffs once again. Wemby makes All-NBA first team. But this time around, I feel a lot better about our chances. We're the third seed in the West. I feel confident about potentially winning a playoff series. But now this is an incomplete roster still. We still need to address another forward spot, as I already kind of mentioned. But we'll see if we can knock off the Sacramento Kings here in the playoffs. And we are going to go to a game 7, but lose again. But I'm already excited to get in the offseason because once we are able to address our forward problem, we're going to be a championship contender as soon as next year. So we didn't waste any time. We got Wemby, exactly what he needed. So we got the Hornets getting the 11th overall pick. Bulls get 1. And then we obviously traded picks to get LaMelo. So Greg Popovich, still the head coach. I don't think we had a draft pick at all, but let me just double check just in case. So we have, some seconds, but I usually don't worry about the seconds too much. So Connie Rooks and then Popovich. I guess we can sign a two-way RJ Town. So player options. Of course, we're going to accept every single one of these. Yeah, Champagny. Yeah, we're going to accept Champagny as well. Unless, wait, what is our small forward situation right now? Because obviously Colin Murray Boyles, we have City, Champagny. Yeah, we'll accept it. So accept all those. Actually, we'll decline Mark Mitchell, and I'm also going to decline Trevin because I want to have $5 million cap space opened up. And then Simpson, City, Blake, Wesley, Malachi Branham, all free agents. So we'll extend the offers on all of them. But I'm prepared to, and I also extended Zach Collins, by the way. He was fairly cheap, $7 million. I think we have cap space, but maybe I underestimated our cap situation. I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, $7 million in cap space, but that's without, I'm assuming, the cap holds, I think. So that should give us the ability to sign someone, I think. So let's see what our situation is fully. So LaMelo, Stephon Castle, Vassell's our 2 guard. To me, the one, what we need is clearly a forward. So wherever that comes from. And we do have the money to sign Bradley Beal. Yeah, not going. Okay, so we do have quite a bit of money to use. We have $27 in cap space. So actually more than that. So it's about 30 million. So yeah, we could definitely spend some money here. Now, as far as who we're going to get at the forward spot, we shall find out. So free agency, we got to go fishing here. So Paulo Banchero, he's going to be out of our price range, and Orlando would match it anyway. Durant, no thank you. 37 years old. I kind of want a long-term option. J-Dub, he would get matched. Now, Jaren Jackson unrestricted and is looking like the best option so far, but he does want $53 million in cap space. Quite a lot, of course. John Collins was the best forward option that's popped up so far. Mathurin is here. Duran, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Bradley Beal, Mark Williams, Isaiah Hardenstein, Jeremy Sohan. Damn, there is not a lot of great. I mean, there's Keegan Murray, I guess, but he doesn't develop at all, I've noticed, in 2K. Rui. Wow, this is a poor. Well, it's not a poor free agency class, but a lot of these guys we'd go after would be matched. We obviously don't have the money for Jaren Jackson. That's way out of our price range. We're not going for Trae Young. I mean, to me, the immediate fun option, like Benedict Mathurin's fun as well. We'll offer him a contract here in a second, potentially. But we need a power forward more than anything. And it would be interesting to get Jabari Smith, I guess. Like, do I want to pay him this much money? Not necessarily, and we can't even really offer him. So, you know, Houston probably match that. Tari Eason we could probably get, but like I said, we need more of a power forward. Maybe Tari Eason has to be the guy though. Sohan, you know, we traded him, so we're not going to sign him. And then Keegan Murray. Yeah, unfortunately, not a great class, and I'm not going to spend in free agency. So Jabari Smith, I'm going to throw an offer at him, and I'm going to force Houston to decide. He's not even going to decline that. He was insulted by our offer. So Tari Eason might be the guy to go after, I guess. Maybe we'll play him at the power forward. So we're going to sign Tari Eason to a very lucrative contract. We need somebody at that starting spot. A very good player in Houston. He's going to get a massive role here, so we'll roll with that. I mean, regardless, we're going to have Wembanyama down low, so defensively we'll be fine regardless of what happens. So that is going to lead us to renouncing a bunch of different players, but it pays to get better. So Tari Eason is going to be our brand new power forward. We could also bring in Jonathan Isaac if we wanted to as well, for more defensive purposes if we wanted to go that direction. So yeah, sure, why not? He's pretty cheap. We can sign him. So we'll sign Jonathan Isaac as well to double down at that power forward spot. Paulo obviously would have been amazing, but that was just not going to happen. So a minimum for Jonathan Isaac. Sign me up. So Houston loses Tari Eason. I'm assuming they probably kept Jabari, but Tari Eason is a nice little addition here. And now you have LaMelo, Wembanyama as a duo. Tari Eason goes down, unfortunately, but Collins up to 79, which I kind of need him to develop, which he did. And then Tari Eason will be our power forward. Isaac is there. Jonathan, you know, Julian Champagnie still looking fine. So all looking good. So we're about to get into this next season and figure out what this is truly about to look like all on paper. So here's rotation going into year number 3. LaMelo Ball, Devin Vassell, Colin Murray, Boyles, Tari Eason, Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, Isaac, Zach Collins, and Julian Champagnie. So we'll see how this season goes. Hopefully it leads to a top 3 seed like we were last year, and maybe this time around we get the first seed. Regardless, we have Wemby on our side with LaMelo, you know, being his duo partner. So I'm assuming this will be a really good season. Really like what we've done so far. As I punch the microphone, I keep doing that, but hopefully it ends exactly where we want it to end, and that's with us hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy. So at the end of this season, Luka Doncic wins MVP. AJ is your Rookie of the Year. Dylan Harper is your 6th man. Wemby Defensive Player. No surprise there. Obviously, LaRavia is your Most Improved in Boston. Interesting. That was your Clutch Player, and Jason Kidd is your Coach of the Year. So looks like the Mavericks beat us out for that first seed, but we do get LaMelo and Wemby both making All-NBA first and All-NBA second team, which is great to see. Wembanyama All Defensive first team, but we end up as the 2nd seed in the West. So hopefully we get the Battle of Texas in the conference finals. So 26 from LaMelo, 23 from Wemby, 15 from Colin Murray, who's been really solid for us. Love to see that. And then Stephon Castle with 13 off the bench, up to an 84 overall. 13 from Vassell, 10.5 from Eason, and 8 from Zach Collins. So we get Golden State in round 1, Stephen Curry, Moses Moody, Wiggins, Jonathan Mogbo, Trace Jackson Davis. I mean, it's an older Stephen Curry at this point. Losing in round 1 would be unacceptable, obviously, and we will beat them in 5. But now we draw Minnesota, who we went to Game 7 with earlier in the video. Let's see if we can maybe just knock them out this time around. 2-0. So far, so good. And by the way, we ended up as the 2nd seed, and I think we won 67 games. So far, we sweep the Timberwolves, and now, as I mentioned, we're going to get the Battle of the Texas teams in the conference finals. So pretty easy path to getting to the conference finals, but now we got our toughest matchup yet, and it's Luka Doncic. But outside of Luka and Kyrie and Derek Lively, maybe Gafford, Lonzo. Okay, so LaMelo Ball versus Lonzo in conference finals is fun. But their starting forwards is kind of a joke, like Boucher and Najee Marshall. I don't know. We'll see, man. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2, so far so good, and we're up 3-0. Is it going to be that easy? Wow, we just swept Luka Doncic. But now we draw the Nets. So the Brooklyn Nets have Cooper Flagg. So Cooper Flagg has led the Brooklyn Nets all the way here. They also have Cam Thomas. Let's not forget about him. Boogie Flan, Claxton, Keldon. We gave Keldon, kind of poetic. We gave Keldon Johnson to the Nets earlier in the video. Why do I always trade Keldon Johnson? Oh, there's the reason. He doesn't develop at all. He's still an 80 overall, which is why I always trade him in Spurs video. He's like, every Spurs video, I swear I always trade him. I apologize if you love Keldon Johnson and if you're a Spurs fan, but dude, I trade him every single time. And there's kind of a reason for that. He just doesn't move up in overall at all. He stays in an 80 overall. So that being said, game 1 against Brooklyn, so far, so good. I mean, is it going to be that easy? We just literally came into the playoffs, and I think we only dropped 2 games in total. As long as we don't lose another one, obviously. Knock on wood. But we're going to close the Brooklyn Nets out here, too. So very easy to go out here and win a championship. Now, they could come back, so let me make sure we stop them from doing that. And I've been making sure to put an emphasis on getting gameplay in on these videos. I've been getting gameplay in my Madden videos a lot, which I always do in my Madden rebuilds, because the best way to kind of watch, there's like no simcast in Madden unless if you actually jump into the game, obviously. That's why we've been getting a lot of gameplay on the Madden rebuild. So I'm just trying to put an emphasis on doing that for the 2K videos as well. So we got Boogie Flan at the free throw line. I mean, at this point, it really doesn't matter. It looks like this is going to be a full-on sweep pitch, and we allowed Cameron Johnson to get the offensive rebound, but thankfully he didn't put it back in. Wow. LaMelo Ball 3. I'm feeling it. Yep. Excellent release. Ooh, okay. 114-94. Feeling good. 31 points a night for LaMelo Ball. LaMelo and Wemby was the duo to rock with, man. They got Cameron Johnson. I wish Cameron Johnson was better in 2K, man. He'd be a great fit in a lot of places once he's... Oh my goodness. Come on. I thought I had a block. But yeah, once Cameron Johnson is traded, which I assume he will be at the deadline for Brooklyn, he'll be a good fit in a lot of places, obviously, with the amount of threes and he could shoot and make. But let's try to score here again. We got our starting 5 on the floor, which is great. Wemby. I mean, can I just throw a lob up to Wemby? Let's just throw a lob up there. Yeah, that's just too easy, man. It's too easy. Lob to Wemby. Comes down with it. The man is so freaking tall and lengthy. No one's stopping him. Cooper Flag. You know, it would have been great to have you with Wembanyama, but we weren't bad enough for that. And we're going to get the rebound. So, rebound taken by Tari Eason. LaMelo Ball transition 3 again. Feeling it, maybe. Nope. Good defense by Cooper Flag. Let's just feed Wembanyama in the post. All right, Wemby. Back. Ooh, Nick Claxton. Okay, Nick Claxton, I see you. Playing great defense. I mean, he's not allowing me to get past. LaMelo 3. And that's going to be in and out. So 108 on the clock. Cooper Flag is going to drive at the rim. We stop him. It's a little push shot, it feels like. 116-98. All right. Give me a screen. Just kidding. Tari Eason's giving me the screen this time. Tari Eason is going to be open. Get it over Cameron Johnson's head. And that's going to be another dunk there. So Tari Eason gets down low for the dunk. And now we just need another stop in this game. I mean, it's already over already, of course, but you know, having fun with it a little bit. Boogie Flan is trying to hit a 3 in our face, and he does. That was a nice little play that they drew up there, but it's too little, too late, man. This game is over. All right, Wemby, I want to feed you down low. Get in bounds. He's there. Offensive rebound. Foul. Not gonna go down. Give me the freaking. Just get it in the rim. Oh my gosh. What did I just do? I was just literally just chucking it up there with Wemby. Did not lead to anything, but it's all good. And Cooper Flag's gonna dunk on our face. I gotta get redemption. I gotta hit a shot with Wemby. I mean, I hit a lob with Wemby, but I need an actual shot with Wemby. Wemby, don't get stolen here. I know there's 12 seconds left in the clock, and I don't need to shoot again, but dude, I'm determined to make a shot with Wemby. There we go. 120-103. All right, that'll be all she wrote. Let's make sure they don't hit another shot in our face. And they're not going to shoot it. They're going to go down to... Just kidding. Nope. Yep. 120-103. We bring a championship to the Spurs with Wemby and LaMelo. That was a ton of fun. A lot of fun in this rebuild. Pretty easy peasy, man. Once we got LaMelo and really squared our forward position figured out, it was all... That's all she wrote. So... Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.